Oh, I didn't see you there. Welcome back to another segment of K-pop fanfiction with Steve, where I, KpopSteve, read out some K-pop fanfiction for your pleasure and mine. Today we have a special episode because one of you very lovely people sent me a tweet which just said, "Just for you, mate," along with an Asian fanfiction link. And what was it? It was the story of Steve meets Sojin. And goodness gracious me, it gets crazy. So I thought I'd spend today reading that out, and if any of you have more fanfictions that you'd think would be good for me to read, just holler at me. You know I'm the boy. Okay, well we should get started then, shouldn't we? Thank you very much to JRomey for sending me this, I appreciate it. Steve meets Sojin. Steve was an aspiring film student who didn't know it yet, but he was about to receive the opportunity of a lifetime. It was the beginning of summer, before his last year of university. So for me, that's like 2 years' time, so this whole thing could still happen. Steve awoke from his afternoon nap one day to find a recently delivered letter addressed to him from Park Jae-young, Director of Admissions at Seoul International University. I love the accuracy of him being a film student as well, because I am as well. I don't like this, it's too real! Dear Steve, on behalf of Seoul International University, I would like to invite you to study with us this fall for a full semester. Our cinematography program is looking for only the brightest prospects from around the world. We look forward to having you to be a part of our program. Sincerely, Park Jae-young, Director of Admissions. Steve glanced at the letter in disbelief before realizing just what kind of opportunity had been placed before him. Steve placed the letter on his desk slowly, then without warning, "Yes!" I need to do like impressions, I need to do like reading voice for myself, so this is weird, okay. "Yes, this is exactly what I've been hoping for. Woo!" Steve shouted, as he danced and leapt around his room with joy. "Oh, Sojin, my darling, I'm coming to visit you," Steve added, as he pressed his body against the Girls' Day poster displayed beside his bed. "It's gone, I need to reprint it, and we'll be back soon." Okay, kissing the face of the beautiful leader he adored so much. It wasn't long before the news spread over social media. It was the second week of August, the week Steve was to depart for Seoul to begin his study abroad. Excitement overwhelmed the young student, as he couldn't sit still or refrain from smiling like a child who had opened his gifts on Christmas morning. Look, these are similes! This writing JRomey has done. Perfect. It had only been an hour in the air, but for Steve it felt as though it had been half a day nearly. Finally, Steve landed at Ichigan Airport late in the evening. It had been a long day, so he decided to check into his hotel for the night and handle registration in the morning. Steve awoke the next morning, stretched out a little, and began carrying out his morning ritual. Today was a big day for Steve, as it was his first full day he got to spend in Seoul. He had 3 days before classes began, and he intended to make the most of them. While Steve was taking care of business at the illustrious university, he came across a gentleman by the name Alex, who had been living in Seoul for a couple of years now. After registration, the two decided to grab some coffee together at a nearby coffee shop. "How do you like Seoul so far?" Alex asked. "Well, I only arrived last night, but from what I've seen, it's a pretty place. Are you a K-pop fan?" "Yes, actually. I have a whole YouTube channel dedicated to it." Steve took a sip of coffee after giving his reply, only to find himself spitting it back out in disgust. How has he encapsulated my personality so well? How I'm like, I talk about my YouTube channel, but I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't, because, you know, if it's like, people know I like K-pop, like, oh my goodness. He knows, this is me. I need to do a voice for Alex. "You know, I know a club in Hongdae where a lot of idols hang out at night. I'll give you the address so you can check it out." Steve once again found himself sporting a shocked look across his face. Steve smiled and nodded, thanking Alex for the information. "I know what I'm doing tonight, hee." Steve thought to himself. I giggle in my head. Steve spent most of the day walking around the streets of Seoul, taking in all there was to see. Around 9 PM or so, he made his way to the address given to him by Alex this morning. Steve found the club without much trouble at all. Then as Steve received his drink, something caught his eye as he turned his head slightly to the left. There, across the room, only 20 feet or so away, was a woman that Steve had only dreamed of seeing in real life. He couldn't manage any words, but his thoughts stuttered as he tried to process his moment. "Sojin?" Steve gathered himself, sipping his drink a few times before fully calming down. "Alright, Sojin is over there, right in front of me. Oh gosh. No matter how hard he tried, Steve couldn't keep his composure for more than a couple of seconds. He glanced back across the room, this time making eye contact with a gorgeous elder woman. Then, to Steve's surprise, Sojin met his gaze. smiled, and waved cutely at him. Oh my goodness, have I met Sojin in real life? Okay. Steve's hand loosened its grip on his drink, causing his glass to fall to the ground and shatter. That's actually me when I'm drunk. I drop a lot of things. It's no good. Sojin smiled at me. Across the room, Sojin was giggling to herself, finding Steve's reaction to her rather cute. Haha, because I do reactions. She took a sip of her drink, set it down and walked over to Steve. Steve's heart began racing. He never expected in a million years Park Sojin of Girls' Day would be walking over to him, of all people. This is me. He scrambled to fix his hair and shirt before Sojin approached him. Oh, I don't want to speak Korean. Okay. 안녕하세요, Steve managed to say. Hello, Sojin replied cutely. Steve wasn't expecting her to speak English. Oh, you speak English? Haha, yes, a little. I've seen your videos, by the way. You are a cute fanboy. Whoa. Wow! Sojin added with an adorable eye smile that made Steve's heart race even more. Sojin said I'm cute. Ah! Steve didn't say this aloud, thank goodness, but simply thought it to himself. Thank you. I'm guessing that's a because that's not what I do, rather than a hee. The conversation was cut short, however, when the two were spotted chatting so casually. Paparazzi! Ah, chinchaya! Come on now. I can't speak Korean. They managed to make it out of the club safely. Takeshi, Takeshi! Sojin called out as she waved down the cab. Oh, she's saying taxi. Oh, wow. Taxi, taxi! Sojin called out as she waved down the cab. Where are you staying? Sojin asked as the cab was pulling up. Steve gave the name of the hotel he was staying at for the time being. Sojin repeated the information to the cab driver in Korean as she opened the door for Steve. Just as Steve was about to close the door and say goodbye, Sojin grabbed the door, pulling the door open enough to get in the cab with Steve. This completely caught him off guard. Woo! Get in the cab. Where's this going? What's she doing? Steve wondered. I'm going with you. They arrived back at the hotel and went up to Steve's room together. Jays! They sat down together on the bed and began to chat. After a while, Steve could tell something was bothering Sojin. What's wrong? Steve asked. That's just my normal voice. It's so weird. What's wrong? Steve asked her. Sojin only sighed. She looked back up at Steve. Only this time there were tears in her beautiful big eyes. In a matter of seconds, she was crying fully, her head buried in Steve's shoulder. It's okay. I'm here for you, Steve said softly as he put his arm around Sojin. He had gathered himself by this point and could now speak comfortably. Steve placed his other arm around her, fully embracing her as well as tilting his head slightly to rest against hers. Here we go. Oh no! I can't even read this now. Okay, wow. This is when we get into the 18 plus region. Click off now if you're 7 years old. Not appropriate. Oh no, Steve thought a few seconds later, as he felt blood rushing to his lower region, expanding his member. Using my favourite words. A few moments later, Sojin had stopped crying for the most part and lifted her head from Steve's shoulder. As she did so, their eyes met each other. Steve's eyes were stoic, while Sojin's were soft. The two leaned in closer to each other, closing their eyes as they inched forward. Their lips met in a soft kiss, causing Steve's member to swell even more. That lasted for a few seconds before they parted their lips and leaned back. Sojin was blushing a deep red. The two laughed at the awkwardness of each other. Ha ha! Oh, Sojin. Things only progressed from there as they broke the kiss and stared into each other's eyes seductively. Steve removed Sojin's denim jacket, revealing her beautiful neckline and shoulders. I've really been into shoulders lately. Why'd you do this? This guy is quoting my own reaction videos here. This is perfect. I've really been into shoulders lately. You don't remember one of my greatest quotes?
I've been really into like shoulders recently. That sounds really weird.
It's in the KpopSteve quote test if you haven't heard, but jeez Louise, okay. Steve thought to himself as he placed several kisses around Sojin's collarbone. Sojin felt her lower core heat up from the sensation. It's like the earth, the lower core. No! Why? Oh, I can smell the midriff from here. Oh, JRomey, what have you done? What have you created?
If I can smell the midriff from here. Sniff, sniff, midriff, yeah.
Steve said as he began to lift up Sojin's white top, exposing her toned tummy and revealing even more of her lovely, full breasts. Steve laid Sojin down on the... Oh, if I make this video, though, like, I'm never going to meet a K-pop idol? Well, I've already accepted that. Either way, I'll work out. Steve laid down on the bed and began making... Sojin's never gonna see me. I'm never gonna look at me after this vid. I just hope she hasn't watched it. Okay. Steve laid Sojin down the bed and began making his way down her flat belly with a parade of kisses, sending pleasure shocks all over Sojin's body, stimulating her lower core even more, making it warmer and wetter with every second. Sojin continued to let out a series of soft, quiet moans as Steve decorated her body with his kisses. Oh, mate, that's good. When Steve reached the bottom of her belly, Sojin grabbed his head, pulling him upward to meet her eyes. Fuck me. Whoa, I didn't hesitate there. Fuck me. Sojin said directly after sitting upright. I actually haven't read it this far. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, I'm going to have to finish it. I said I'd finish it. Okay. A smirk made its way across Steve's face as he nodded in agreement. Yeah, boy. Before Steve could make his move, Sojin pushed him back on the bed and began unbuttoning his shirt. And seeing his six-pack? Oh, no, that wasn't in there. I added that in. I wish. She then made her way down to the ever-present bulge in Steve's trousers. Hello. Rubbing it gently from the outside, causing Steve to let out a moan. So that moan will be like, wah, 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 wah. I'm really, really, like, attractive in bed. So big, she said. I'm not even going to do voices. I just want to get this over with. This sent Steve into a rage of testosterone. This is amazing. Kissed the tip of his erect pole. Gently, as she rose to remove the remainder of her clothes. She removed her bra. Steve found himself in awe at the sight of her perfectly shaped, larger breasts. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, this is getting mad. I haven't even read this thing. You're bringing out the London voice. Okay, Sojin pinched her. She then removed her shorts, exposing the nearly see-through, lacy underwear that she had chosen for the evening. Sojin leaned over to give Steve one last kiss. Give it to me, she whispered as... Oh, if it was a sister member, it would be a bit better, but give it to me, she whispered over Steve's list as she pulled away, getting herself in position. Can't read some of this because I actually would like to get to the point where I can, like, you know, interview K-pop idols, you know, do that kind of stuff when they come to England. I'd really like that. But I feel like I might just lose it all here. But, you know, it's not like that was going to happen anyway, so let's go. Okay. Made him grow even more. Sojin smiled at Steve as she slowly inched them. Whoa! Mad. Can't read that. Dangled above his head as he continued to do that in and out. Oh, yes. She screamed, don't stop more. Okay, likewise, Sojin could feel like she was reaching the top too. I'm gonna... Okay, this is funny. At that moment, Steve released into there, causing her to do it as well. Okay, the two laid there motionless, breathing heavily and covered in sweat from the intense intercourse. The two made their way to the shower to clean up. While in the shower, the fun... Oh my days! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, while in the shower, the fun didn't stop. Steve's member had not returned to its fully flaccid state yet. I can't read this! I can't read this! So she did that, into the mouth. Steve couldn't hold it in. Some moans. It wasn't long before Steve went for round 2. Once out of the shower, the couple returned to the bed and they cuddled and kissed each other. Okay, so Steve slipped his hand beneath the cover. Oh my days, he hasn't stopped, fam. Steve is a madman. This guy's Steve, he's mad, you know. He's not stopping. One day in 2 years, apparently, this is me. So, because I'm in first year of uni right now. Did a foundation last year. I'm 20 years old. 20 years old, girls, hit me up. Anyway, they shared one final kiss before turning out the lights and drifting off to sleep in each other's arms. Now that's cute. That's more what I want to do. Obviously the other stuff's, I know, just, you know, icing on the cake, but that is nice, you know, just, you know, having a nice cuddle is fun sometimes, you know. Steve awoke the next morning only to find that Sojin had already left. There was, however, a note on the dresser for Steve. Thank you for last night. It was really something, and I hope I met your expectation. Haha. Maybe I see you again, darling. Smile. XOXO Sojin. 2 song names in there. Perfect. Expectation and darling. JRomey, you are a man with your words. The letter was garnished with a splash of perfume and a kiss mark. Steve smiled as he finished reading the note. I love Korea, Steve said as he grabbed his clothes and got ready for the day. Everyone give a round to JRomey right there, giving it with the That was so good. That was so good. That was really weirdly erotic as well. Didn't think the detail was going to be that bad, but I was more happy with the comedy stuff, obviously. The other stuff I'll read in my own time, but the comedy stuff was actually really good. Adding my quotes in there. And just, he's got me as a person, and it scares me. It scares me that my personality is out there on the internet, that people can just recreate who I am in writing. One day I'll meet Sojin, that'd be nice. Not for all that funny business. I would just like to, you know, shake her hand. I'd like her, you know, maybe if she smiled in front of me, I'd, you know, I'd feel very faint and woo, I'd be very nervous. But yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you again for JRomey for writing that. I appreciate it. That's made a funny video. Hopefully, put down below in the comments if you enjoyed that, and if you have any, if you guys want to write any fan fictions, and if you like these fan fiction stuff, I enjoy doing this. It's just so stupid, isn't it? I'm trying to think of more stupid series to do. I'll think of some soon. Oh man, he actually did a part 2 of that as well with Yura, and that got me even more intense. But that's for another day. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Love, Steve. I've been really into shoulders recently. Why do I say shit like this?